Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Just Ask Jen. I'm super excited today to answer some of your questions here live. I've got some that were submitted already on the Google form. And if you have questions, you can ask them live during this session. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. So if this is your first time tuning in and you've just stumbled across this video, my name is Jennifer Hall and I'm an educational technology specialist here in Atlanta. And that means my job is to work with teachers to best integrate technology in their standards-based lessons. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching live, let me know in the comments where you're tuning in live from. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments and write hashtag ask. I say write, type hashtag ask, and I know it's a question you'd like for me to answer live, and I'll do my best to answer it. If you happen to be watching from the future, thank you so much for tuning in. So a couple of questions that were submitted that I want to answer tonight are, the first one was, what are some tools you suggest for creating animated videos? And so that's kind of a broad question there in terms of, okay, animated videos. Let's talk about a couple tools that people might want to give a look. So the first one I wanted to point out was Powtoon, and I've used Powtoon to create some engaging animated videos. It allows you to create these cartoons, and there's even templates that you can use to create those videos. Now there is an education option, so you can actually get accounts, and so your students can create this. So it depends on the question that was submitted, and I appreciate the submission did not specifically say for just a teacher to create or for students to create. So I did want to point out that what's great about Powtoon is that you can create these animated videos and you can actually use the EDU version of it and have your students create those videos as well. Another pretty cool tool that lets you create interesting videos is Movely. Again, these are web-based. That means you can create them via the web, and you don't have to download any software, and that's always a plus. If you're using Chromebooks, you don't have to worry about downloading apps. But Movely lets you actually create as well. And I did want to point out with Movely, there is a couple of different versions. With there's an education plan as well. But if you're just wanting to create something, I love it. Hey, my friend Leslie, good to see you. Just getting back into using Powtoons. It's a pretty cool tool to create videos, just to kind of make it a little more interesting and engaging if you're trying to introduce content. But for Movely, there is a free version that does allow you to actually have access to it, and you can export it, but you have some limitations on being able to upload personal content. And as you get more advanced, you have like 1080p, and you can download and do some other options. And I think the text-to-speech option is pretty cool here. So there are different versions of Movely, so keep that in mind if you want to give it a try. Just something to consider. Another one that I've played around a little bit with, and I have a goal for using this for some tutorial stuff for next year with my teachers, just to kind of change things up. And this is called Squiggle. And Squiggle is a pretty cool tool because it actually has this AI-powered script writing. So you actually write out your script, and then based on what the content is, the text, it's going to create an animated video. And you can go in and create the content that you want. So if you were writing out an instructional video, it would actually be able to take that video and turn it into something. What's kind of cool though with Squiggle is there's a couple of options. There's the Express, which is I just want to real quickly upload the text. So basically you could take a document you already have, that's your script, and you can load it in. And under the Express version, there's not a lot of choices. It's going to take it, it's going to create it, it's going to take those animations and do it. Now, there's also the Expert one, which gives you the ability to dial in a little bit more some of the features and choices you might want to make. Now, notice this is just I was playing around with it. This was an About Me one where I just kind of typed out some information about me, and I was like, let's see what it comes up with. And it was kind of cool. So what it does is it creates this drawing animation, so it looks like someone's drawing as the story's being told, and it's going to point out key vocabulary and things. The other cool thing though that I like about Squiggle is the fact that you can use PowerPoint, so you can actually convert a PowerPoint into a Squiggle. And I love this. I'm seeing here, let's see. I can upload this PowerPoint and I can then turn that into content. So there's 3 levels here, and there is an education arm of using Squiggle with your students, which is kind of cool. But it's just it's a newer one to me that it was on my list of things to explore a little bit more this year. But hello, COVID, pandemic, and so many other things. It's on my list, so I'm probably going to do a little bit of summer learning and create some kind of engaging hooks based on some tools I want to share, and just some education ideas, and share those with my teachers. So Leslie, oh, you've never heard of Squiggle. Okay, I've introduced you to something new. Yeah, check it out for sure. Excuse me. You love the name Squiggle? I think it's just kind of cool because it looks like squiggly lines in drawing. So those were 3 tools. I didn't want to overload with too many tools, but 3 to check out. Some older ones that have been around a while, like Powtoon. Movely's kind of cool, and then Squiggle. So those are 3 tools for creating animated videos. Now, also something to point out, because the question was kind of broad, you can also create custom animations using Google Slides by adding in text and changing out the slides and creating an animated GIF, and then it can also be turned into a video if you want as well. So just kind of another tool, and that's of course free, being able to do that with Google Slides to create a custom animation video. I created one using my Genmoji and made a Genmoji dancing scene with even a text, and I turned it into a video and did a voiceover with it. It's pretty cool. So a couple of options for creating videos. So I appreciate that question. Thank you so much for submitting that. So and again, if you have any questions, let me know, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. So let's take a look at our next question and see what we got. What are some ed tech tools you suggest for gaming? And so gaming, again, the question was kind of broad, and so I was like, so we mean like gamification in the classroom is kind of where I went with that. So I've got a couple of tools I wanted to point out. So a couple of apps that I think that maybe would address the needs. So I didn't have any more context. This was the question that was submitted. The first I want to point out is Classcraft. Let me know if you're familiar with Classcraft. Classcraft is actually a really cool gamification behavior management solution. So it's gamified in the sense that you have a character and you earn power-ups, and as a teacher you can facilitate missions and award badges and all of that. So that brings in that gamification, but it really fosters SEL and student motivation, because they've got this game-based learning environment. I know quite a few of my middle school teachers played around with this in the last couple of years, and they used it in the classroom to get students, especially those students that were less engaged, to participate in that. So Classcraft is a gamified way to reward student behavior, and it really focuses on not penalizing students, but really focusing on really highlighting, the good things that students are doing. So really rewarding positive behavior, not dinging them for negative behavior. So Classcraft, something you might want to take a look at for that gamification of your classroom. All right, next up, I would recommend Minecraft. Is such a powerful gamified way to engage your students, because students can create their own worlds. And it really ties into so many different subjects. So with Minecraft, the idea is that students can create worlds, whether it's in social studies, they could recreate historical places. They could recreate biomes and understanding, plant life and things like that. I've seen it used in science. And there actually are Minecraft lessons that tie to standards. And students love it because once they've created this world, they can actually work together, they can collaborate on the world, and they can go through and explore it. So it's a gamified way. They've taken what was kind of a fun game, Minecraft, and brought it into the education space. It's been a while, but they keep adding more lessons. And I think that if you're looking for an interesting way to connect content and have students participate in a gamified way, Minecraft's a great option. I got to give a shout out to a couple of my teammates that worked on a special Thank you. Yeah, you're right. There is. There's a great course in the Microsoft Education Center about Minecraft. So it kind of walks you through what it is. And I got to be honest, I'm not a big gamer, but what's amazing to me is engaging students in the content. I actually worked with a student a couple of years ago on a project where they got to choose the way that they did a book report. And so there was one kid that absolutely loved Minecraft. He was playing it at home and he didn't see, and we talked about, well, okay, well, why don't you take Minecraft and actually recreate the world, the book you're reading? And he was actually, I know I'm going to mess this up. I believe it was a Lemony Snicket book. Don't quote me on that, but recreated, or it was the haunted house that he had to recreate, and he built it out in Minecraft. And then he got up for his presentation and he connected his device and he walked through this creation, and he was so invested in it. And this was a struggling reader and a not as much motivated student, but because he was able to create something, he had that ownership in his learning, and it's just kind of a really cool way to engage students. But my teammates here in Atlanta actually worked on a special Minecraft project. A salute to John Lewis, who is a well-known congressman here in the United States, that well known for the civil rights movement, and it actually walks through that civil rights experience, and there's a lesson plan for it that is just fantastic. Thank you. I love that you like that. Isn't that a really cool way to use what kids are playing game wise and turning it into a world? And it's amazing what students can create in Minecraft. And because they can partner on it, depending on the devices, I mean, there's now the ability to create on a computer, but they've also pushed out an iPad app for Minecraft. So it really kind of opens up the opportunity. It's available on Chromebooks now. So definitely check out Minecraft for your students. A kind of a fun way to level up with gamification in the learning setting. So the next one I wanted to highlight was Blookit, or Blookit. Let me make sure I say it right. So Blookit. Fingers crossed this is going to work today. I did a live stream last week, and it was my session on awesome assessment tools, and I got to Blookit, and it was like my final one I was going to talk about, and then they were down for site maintenance, and I was like, I don't get to show off all the awesomeness. So this is a fun one because it is a gamified assessment tool, and Blookit lets you create all sorts of different game experiences, and students, once they have their accounts, actually they're collecting their winnings, and it's an ongoing experience. So it's not like when you play a Kahoot or Quizzes and you earn your points and that's it. This one is like an ongoing opportunity to collect and actually level up and collect these Blookit characters. So I'm just going to hop over here for just a second and show you what it looks like. Now there's free. We always know there's the free version of tools, and then there's the premium version. So for free, you can actually create them, and you can actually host the ones that you find. You cannot duplicate and change them, but you can create your own. But I want to just show you this, like name that logo. If I was ready to host it, I could either host it or play it solo. So students actually can go in and play their own games just for review, which is kind of cool. But I'm going to choose to host it, and we're not going to play it live. I just want to kind of show you where this kind of levels up the gamification option. I get to check, I select my game mode. So it's not just everybody's playing the same thing. So like the crypto hack, all right, the crypto hack allows you to use your points that you're getting to actually try to hack against the others. This is a brand new one. I haven't played it yet, but it's supposed to be really cool. Then there's the gold quest, the tower defense, the cafe. So any of these, if I click on it, it tells you a little bit more about it, and it will tell you can use it as a homework one or a host, and it gives you a suggested number of players. At least 2 need to play this to have it be a meaningful game experience. And it tells you that the focus is speed and focus. So this is a rapid fire game, okay? And player limit is 60, but you can also, if you have the plus version, can go up to 1,000. So for 60 players, you should be good for a class. But like we look at the tower defense one, this one is on strategy and accuracy. So it's also teaching those game skills of, okay, like rapid, quick answer, and now we're going to get it. That's like the repetition. Or are we going to do this for accuracy? So we're going to make sure we're going to try this a couple times. So this is 2 players here. It can be played homework or hosted. But then we get into the factory. Again, speed and strategy, at least 2 players. And then some of the others, like this one, is really intense and competitive. So now leveling up, and you can choose to use each of these depending on your learners, what would be better for your learners. So maybe you have certain students play certain versions of the games because you're going to know what's going to be better for your students. But this one, at least 4 players, and this is again speed and accuracy. So this one though, the Battle Royale, is only one you're going to play live. This is not a homework assignment one because everybody's competing at the same time. And it's like they're playing against 1 versus 1 or team versus team to keep their energy up until only one remains. So like the last one standing. Then there's the racing one, again, speed, accuracy, so lots of fun, at least 4 players. So look at all these different versions of the games that you can play with Blukit. So I definitely would check it out. If you'll notice, the classic one might look a little bit like your Kahoot quizzes, just answering the multiple choice questions. But I love that they are adding new ones. And this crypto one, like I said, this is the new one. Haven't gotten a chance to play it, but here's what I've heard from the teachers that have used Blukit with their learners. They love it because it levels up that engagement, because the fast-paced game experience and the fact that they get to collect their coins and that can go towards them adding their characters. It's creating a bank account experience. So if you haven't checked out Blukit, you definitely should. Let me know in the comments. Have you used Blukit with your learners? I'd love to know. It's a newer one to me. I've shared it with my teachers, but I got to be honest, I learned about it during the pandemic, so I've not had the opportunity to be in a classroom and experience it with students, and I cannot wait to share it with my teachers next year when we get back to school and we get to do some of these fun things. So that was a third tool to level up gaming, to use for gaming in your classroom. So hopefully you found those 3 suggestions beneficial. So check them out, and if you have not used Blukit before or any of the other tools I've mentioned, please drop a comment and say, I'm going to give it a try. I'm excited to try it. If not, come back and let me know. I would like to know, or what tools are you using for your gamification with your students? Let me know in the comments. What are you doing to level up gamification with your learners? All right, let's keep it moving here. I got another question. And again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. This one was one that was messaged to me via Facebook, and I was like, oh, okay, this is probably a question a lot of people would benefit from hearing the answer to. So let's take a look at this. Sorry, I did some presenting today at the school with my district leaders. So a little bit of a raspy voice, but I had a blast sharing with those educators today. It was kind of nice. The last couple of days I got to be around people in the real world. It's fabulous. So the question is, how can I reduce the size of the Google Chrome Omnibar and add more extensions? So let's take a look at that. And I'm actually we're going to go here and I'm going to switch it up a little bit so we can see this. I want to make sure y'all can see. There we go. All right. Because I usually hide all my toolbars and everything. So awesome. Awesome, Leslie. So Blukit is on your holiday playtime list. Yes. Let me know. I would love your feedback. So how do you reduce the size of your Chrome bar? So if you notice up here, I've got my Chrome extensions, and a lot of people are like, this is a lot of wasted space up here. I really wish that I could add more extensions. So the way it works is that, and I'm going to hide here because it's hiding from us right now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to brand, and I'm actually going to hide my little logo real quick so it's peeking right there. So up here next to when you're logged into your Chrome browser, there's this is a newer thing in Chrome in the last couple of versions of it. There's a puzzle piece, and a lot of people are like, what is this puzzle extension? I don't have a puzzle extension. But if I click on that puzzle piece, you'll notice that it shows all of the extensions you have installed. Okay? And that's interesting. I don't think you all can see. All right, we're going to try this again because I don't think you all can see the extensions. And that totally is not going to help me with, bear with me. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to do a little bit of hacking here because you're not seeing everything. So a little behind the scenes here. I gotta switch something up, otherwise it's gonna be a bummer if we can't see it. So I'm gonna go to small, and I just gotta change a window. Hold on here. I got so many windows open, it's just, there we go. All right. So what I'm gonna do here is, so if I go down here, y'all are seeing the behind the scenes magic here. Aha! So now let's see if you can see this when I click on it, because if not, that's gonna, there we go. Okay. Whew. The struggle is real. I didn't even think to check this. So when you click on that puzzle piece, now y'all should be thumbs up in the comments. Give me a yes if you can see that now. That is there. So you'll see that that puzzle piece shows all of the extensions that you have installed. And what you have to do is just add a pin to it, and that's going to put it up there at the top. So right now, if I wanted to say, all right, I want to make sure, I'm going to scroll through here and I want to add that emoji keyboard. Notice it's just going to pin it up there. I'm also going to add in here a little insert learning. I want my Pear Deck power up. My remote for slides. So notice as I'm adding these, it's expanding my toolbar and it's shrinking that Omnibar down so I can add in my slides timer. So you really can, you know, add in all of them. I'm going to add in web paint here. There we go. I got my confetti cannon. So as you can see, I got a ton of different ones. Let's add in, there we go. So as you can see, this Omnibar now is shrinking and I'm able to add those up here. This is also where you click on that puzzle piece. When I click on that puzzle piece, I can actually then see I can scroll down here and I can go to manage extensions. Okay, so if I do that, then it's going to pull up and I can choose to turn off and on extensions as I'm working on them. So just a good little tip there that I can go in and adjust those. So I thought that was a really good question, because a lot of people are like, where did I install an extension and where did it go? I don't understand. Where did my extension go? So little bonus tip there. So I'm curious, did anybody know that one? Yes, we love watching behind the scene adjustments. That's the thing about going live. Oh no, you can't see the Omnibar. I'm sorry, my friend, that you can't see it there. But that's kind of cool that you can go in and change that and adjust how it looks. I'm going to go over here to the smaller one. And so again, that's that puzzle piece right there. So I oftentimes will add extensions based on what I'm presenting on. I'll go in and add them as I want them and everything. And now I've learned a valuable lesson. I had usually cut out the top of my toolbar so you don't sneak ahead. See, now you can see I had all of my little tabs ready to go for my questions that I was answering. So you really are seeing the behind the scenes. So that was a great question, and I think that that's a good one, because you used to be able to just drag this over, but now that they've changed it to that pin option, click on that puzzle piece and pin any of the extensions that you need to have access to, and then remove them when you don't need them, which is kind of cool. The other thing is that you can rearrange them by dragging them. So if I wanted them in a particular order, I can do that as well. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, so like, I'm a Bitmoji fan. My Bitmoji is extension is always going to be first, and then my emoji one is going to be next. And then you add in all these other fun ones like, you know, hello, let's celebrate extensions. If you are like me and you love Chrome extensions and you want to learn more about them, I did an awesome session that was called the Chrome Extension Extravaganza, available on the channel if you want to check that out. That was something I live streamed last week as a topic that my teachers requested, so please check that out if that's something you're interested in. All right, I think I got another question here. And again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments with #ask, and I will do my best to answer those questions. So, let's take a look here, this next one, which is, how can I write on the screen slider image using a pencil to mark some instructions? And I think the pencil, the idea is that you're like being able to draw and annotate. And so I'm going to point out an extension, since we're talking about extensions. It's called Web Paint, and it's pretty cool. So I can click on the Web Paint and I get this pretty awesome toolbar that has some features here. So I can choose to use a pen, and I can choose my color. So I'm going to go with some blue here. A little bit brighter blue, less purple. There we go. I can use it as I can do a color picker. I can also use text, so I can actually drop notes in text form, which is pretty cool. I can use drawing lines that are straight, drawing arrows, drawing curve lines, drawing like a bell curve line that you can actually drop pins. I can even show other shapes and stuff. So if I'm just going to be here in the pin, and if I wanted to write on the screen and I just wanted to circle this right now, and I'm using my mouse to do that, which, you know, is pretty easy to, so I can actually now highlight. Here's my key vocabulary. So if I wanted to say we're talking about, well, I'm going to use this with slides. I'm going to write on images. I want to be able to talk about using a pencil. So as you can see, I'm doing that live on my screen. And if I go over to the next slide, it was on that particular window. So now I can pull that up again and I can write on this one. So it's really geared towards that screen where you're writing. So actually I want to write on, let's write on the blue kit right here. So if I wanted to circle that this was a new one, so I'm going to go over here and I want to draw here. I can adjust the size of my pen so it can be really fine, or I went with like in the middle there. Now I want to circle and be like, this right here is the new one. You got to check it out. I can do that. I can actually undo. So if I doodled in the wrong place and I didn't mean to, I can undo it and redo it. I can clear my whole screen. I can undo what I just did here. I can use a paint bucket to fill it in. I can even use this settings option, and you can actually use hotkeys so that it will actually automatically go to that tool. I'm not a hotkey expert. I'm good to just remember the letters on the keyboard to type. But there are a lot of people that love hotkeys and the ability to go in and be like, all right, if I hit the shift whatever and a number key, I'm going to be able to, it's going to automatically give me the text button or whatever. So that's kind of a cool feature as well. But it's pretty powerful. So I can also, so once I've drawn whatever I need to, and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to change this to another color here real quick. So now I'm going to go with this. Not orange, because that's Gator colors. Sorry, I'm a Florida State alum, so we can't have orange and blue together. We're going to pick another one. Let's go pink or purple. That'll work. So now I'm going to draw right here. And now if I want to, what I've done, I can then hit that screenshot, and it copied it to a clipboard. So I can copy it to my own clipboard. I can even crop it. I can print it. I can download it. So now I have a record of those notations. So if you're doing a lesson, and what's cool is you could do this, you know, virtually by turning on the web paint, and you're doing a virtual lesson for students and grabbing that screenshot very easily. Or you could also, if you were in a classroom setting, you could use that extension and be able to write really quick and grab that screenshot very easily, which is kind of cool. So I just think it's a great way. And if you really want to level up, you can also, let's hop over here if I wanted to do a little more drawing. So notice I went back to that slide. It remembers it on that particular page. So but when we go into a new window, it's like, oh, you have a new page. So it's really kind of great for students. So if I go to the next slide, I'm going to click off of here. I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to go back to present mode. See, when I took it away, it went away. But what's cool is if you wanted to use that and you wanted to level up, you could also use a tool here, and I'm going to pull this up so you can see it. This is called the Wacom Tablet. And so this is a little tablet slate that you use a pen, and you can connect it to, it works with Chromebooks, it works with Mac, it works with PC, and you can use it to write with the pen on that tablet. And it's geared for students, but I got it because I wanted to try it out. And I've seen a lot of teachers use this to be able to do some writing on during virtual lessons. So let's, there we go. To write with the pen. So I can go here, I'm going to change, I've got my pink color here, and now I'm going to draw. Now I'll admit I'm terrible with writing, but I can attempt to, I'm going to see here, I'm going to see if I can do a little circle there. I'm terrible at drawing. That's why I'm not an art major or an artist at all. But you can use this to draw if you want to level up and be able to write on something. But notice that this is going to work on any window. And if I hop over here to another window, it remembers, oh, you write on that particular page, which is kind of cool for lessons, either virtual and face-to-face, if you have a Chrome browser open and you're going through a couple different slides. So let me know if you have used that extension before. That's called Web Paint. In the Chrome web store. I think it's just kind of cool. So now if I wanted to print it, download it, or even crop it, which is an option as well. So I'm like, if I only wanted this part, I'm going to choose to crop it. And now I've saved this, and now I can save this image and add it into a portfolio artifact or something. And what's great, since it is, I'm going to come out of it. It is a free. How did you not know about WebPaint? It's very straightforward. The toolbar is very intuitive. So think about even your younger kids using it, especially if they have, let's see here. It doesn't like that I'm in it. So let me hop over here and open it back up. It won't let me draw on its own page, just so you know. So you can't draw on top of a drawing. But what's cool is it's super easy for you to use this. Uh-oh, I got an OMG from Mel. Hey, what's up, my friend? And I got you came at the right time. Oh, that's awesome. You've used it to help folks log in and be able to use it to annotate over things, which is really, really cool. It was, original annotation stuff. And I just love that it's, as you can tell, it's super slick and easy for your students to even use to walk through their thinking on an activity. So that means they can use it on any, so if they were on a website doing research or something and they wanted to be able to do that, they could do that very easily. So there we go. So let's clean that. I'm going to just wipe it right there. And then if I want to take that toolbar out of the way, there we go. Just like that, couple of clicks. All right, so those are the questions that were submitted, and I'm watching right there to see if there was any other asks that were in the comments. Yeah, one of the few extensions that you have on Chrome. Yeah, it's ones that you have up there. Yeah, you notice there's the ones that I keep pinned, and then there's others I unpin only when they're situational. But that's a good one to have available and that you can push out for your students. So I'm watching for any other comments and questions in the chat. Please let me know. And if you're watching from the future, please add those questions and comments. Let me know if you got any ideas or any tools that you're excited to use. I did want to share out about a couple of upcoming sessions that I'm going to have and opportunities that I'm going to be sharing. So wanted to say, if you're attending ISTE Live, which is coming up here in just a few weeks, I have 2 sessions that I'm going to be presenting. So if you're tuning into the virtual ISTE session this year, my first session is Did You See That? AR and VR in the Classroom. That's going to be Sunday the 27th from, I need to update that. I just noticed on my little card it says 8:15 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's no, I'm not going to be presenting all that long. Reading is fundamental. So it's 8:15 at night, but so if you want to hang out and tune in for that. And then the second session that I'm going to be presenting is using Wakelet to create differentiated lessons, and that's going to be Tuesday at 3:15. So if you happen to be at ISTE, I'd love for you, 12 hours of Jen, that would be, that's what I get for creating social media posts and doing working on presentations after too late at night. But yeah. So those are at ISTE. So let me know, hashtag ISTE in the comments. Are you tuning in for ISTE Live? Also, I wanted to shout out the fact that I will be presenting at a conference that's the first ever green screen summit, and kind of excited. I'm going to be with quite a few other green screen gurus that are sharing their awesomeness and all of their love for using green screen to level up instruction for students. So I'll be one of 20 presenters for this one that's in July. So if it's something that you would be interested in, I'm going to drop the link to that in the chat so you can tune in if it's something that you would like to join me for. In addition to that, this is actually my last week of work. Friday is my last day for this school year, and I will actually get to have a little bit of a vacation. Kind of excited about that. So I will be away from the YouTube and away from the streaming for a little while, but I will be back for my next episode of Just Ask Jen in July, and at that time I'll be announcing a new PD series. Yes, yes, Shelley, there is a green screen conference. I'd love for you to tune in because I know how much you use green screen, but you might learn some really cool ideas, and it's pretty cool. So definitely check that out, Shelley. And thanks so much for being here. So the new PD series, I'm working on it, planning some things. So when I come back in July, after a little bit of a respite, I will go live with the new PD series. So tune in. Make sure if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Please do so and set those notification bells so that you get notified when I do go live. You'll be able to, know about those sessions, and so you can join me. In addition to that, if you haven't already checked out resources at techtips411.com, please do so. Tons of resources there. If you go to the site, you can actually use the search bar just to search for what you're looking for. And if for some reason I do not have the resources that you're looking for, please reach out, let me know, because I'm always trying to add in, more resource pages to support teachers. In addition to that, again, check out the YouTube channel. For those of you tuning in on YouTube, if you're not subscribed, please do so. I appreciate you watching so very much. And if you happen to be tuning in from Facebook, you can hop over to the YouTube channel and check out a bunch of other live stream PDs that I've done over the last couple of weeks. And you can also sign up. All of these links are in the description for the video. So if you, and the live stream. So if you haven't already signed up for my weekly tech tips, please do so. They will resume in most likely the beginning of August when I get back to the regular school year. And I would love for you to get those emails. And last but not least, you can like us on Facebook. All the things at Tech Tips 411. I've had some great questions and connections via Facebook. Would love to hear from you there as well. And last but not least, you can check out all the awesomeness of my website in the palm of your hand on my mobile app. Again, all links are in the description for this video. What I love is I'm seeing people in the comments chatting with each other and seeing that they know each other, and that's fantastic. I am so appreciative of you all tuning in and being here and spending a little bit of time with me. When you have so many other things that you could be doing, I'm sure. But this has been another episode of Just Ask Jen. Thank you, my friend. Yes. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And I hope you got a nugget or two with today with some of the questions that were answered. So please let me know. So lots of ways to connect. Again, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate all of you and your support, and cannot wait to share with y'all. So I'll be offline for a little bit. I'm gonna take a little rest, do a little research, and come back and have some more things to share with you very soon. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.